This is Nick Locapo's Nemesis Deck, a new release from Penguin Magic and a fooling take on the Do As I Do plot. Does this take the classic to another level? Stick around to find out. Let's do a performance of the Nemesis deck. First, you could do any trick that's not Nemesis. It uses a normal deck. They can examine the deck. They can check there's no long and short cards, no rough and smooth, no duplicate cards, no issues with the borders. All the colors are red. All the cards are different, and there's absolutely no gimmicks. They could search for however long they wanted to. They still wouldn't find anything. Now, what we're going to do is give the deck a mix, and they can cut the deck into two piles. Let's say about there. They can then mix both of the piles and choose either pile. Let's say they choose this one. I'm going to give it to my spectator. They can take it under the table and start mixing it up. And then when they're done mixing, they take out any card and place it on the table. Spectator, please look away. I'm going to show the camera what the card is. That's my card. Now, you can come back now. Now, you put your card, show the camera. And we're now going to write the names of our cards on these blank business cards. I'm going to write mine first. I'm going to write the name of my card. I'm going to place this aside under the card mat. Perfect. Now, so my spectator can't see the name of the card I wrote. Now my spectator will write the name of their card on that double blank business card. So I cannot see that either. Now, in a moment, my spectator is going to give me the card and I'm going to put it in the middle of this deck, and I'm going to give them my card and put it in the middle of their deck. So here's my card and I'll take that card. I'm going to place that card now in the middle of the deck and give it a very good mix. So your card is somewhere in the packet, but I could not know where. I'll take this back now. Now, are you satisfied with that? Okay, good. I'm going to give the deck a cut. Now, I'm going to cut to one card. I don't want to see what card I'm cutting to. Here. Now, for the first time, could you show the card, the business card, with the name of your card to the camera? What is it? The 4 of clubs. I think I got that exactly. Correct. Now I want you to cut the deck anywhere you want. Perfect. Now, my card was the King of Spades, and you cut to the King of Spades. That's the Nemesis deck. I hope you enjoyed that performance of Nemesis. Thank you to Penguin Magic for sending this product to me for review. First off, I'd like to let all Magic distributors or creators know if you'd like me to review your product, please contact me at bffanmail@gmail.com. I also do free Magic Monthly giveaways, and all you have to do to be eligible is hit that subscribe button. Without further ado, let's get right into the review. So, this effect is really strong. With the original Do As I Do, you could never be this clean with your handling. That's just an observation. It's a really great effect. And what do you get when you buy Nemesis? You'll receive this blue box. First of all, inside the blue box, you'll get a red bicycle gimmicked deck of cards. It's sealed. It has cellophane and a white seal. In addition to the deck of cards, you get a stack of cards. I can't really say what the stack of cards is because that would expose the method. However, there's no rough and smooth or anything like that. Also, if the gimmick deck of cards is examined at the beginning of the trick, the spectators will not notice anything about it, no matter how hard they look. We'll talk more about that later, and in addition, you get a card with the link to the tutorial. What is the quality of the gimmick? The quality of the gimmick is pretty good. The gimmick deck is printed with USPCC red bicycle cards. The gimmick deck is flawless. You can't even tell it's any different from a regular deck of cards. The packet of cards is also good. There's nothing that should ever wear out. You'll need to provide either double blank business cards or double blank playing cards to write the name of your card. Or you could use a business card or something like that. One comment I have with this effect is that it's not fully self-contained. If it was fully self-contained, that would make the effect a bit more practical, I think. However, if you want it to be self-contained, you could make it self-contained. However, if you do make it self-contained, the deck is not examinable. before the performance. Now, how is the tutorial? The tutorial is about 1 hour and 45 minutes. It's Nick Locapo in the Penguin Magic Studio. He is very clear and the video is clear as well. To begin the tutorial, Nick teaches you the Nemesis routine. He teaches you some switches, extra ideas, how to end the effect clean, and even a bonus routine called Nemesis at Number. The tutorial is great. There are live performances, and Nick even comments on some of those performances. What are the angles like with Nemesis? The angles for this effect are pretty good, but you'll want to have some misdirection at a certain part of the routine, as there is a bit of a bold move you have to do. The move should fly right under the radar, even if you're surrounded. However, it's possible that you get caught. The angles shouldn't matter for the most part, however. Nick talks about how in one of the performances in the tutorial, he gets caught by the audience. But even though they catch him, they don't call it out. And at the end of the routine, even though he got caught, the audience almost forgets about the moment. Because if you have good misdirection, it's done on the offbeat. No one should notice. Now, is this examinable? The thing is, at the start of the performance, the deck is examinable. It's impossible for the audience to find anything about the deck at the beginning. There are no markings or anything like that. They can also mix up the deck as much as they want. At the end of the routine, the deck is not examinable unless you do cleanup. I wouldn't have had the deck examined at the end unless I'm performing for a magician. If you let a magician examine the deck of cards at the end, the effect will likely fool them bad. And this is the case with a lot of magicians. Nick has fooled so many great magicians with this. He performed it on Craig Petty, and it fooled him really badly, it appeared. Now, let's talk about the difficulty and practicality of Nemesis. How hard is Nemesis to do? It's not too difficult. There really is only one move, and if done properly, no one should ever notice it. You should practice, though, the cutting to their card. It's not difficult, but you should still practice it a few times before performing this. It's a really powerful effect, so if you perform it well, you should have a strong impact on your audience. It's not just an ordinary card trick, even though it is a card trick. It's also pretty practical, however it does require a table or a surface. This trick would work well on close-up, parlor, restaurant magic, and more. Is there any DIY with Nemesis? No, there is no DIY. Pocket space. For pocket space, you'll need to carry around one deck of cards, 2 pieces of paper, or more if you want to perform this more, a Sharpie or a pen, and one other thing, which takes out about the space of half a deck of cards. I don't want to say what it is, so I don't expose the method. What is the reset like? The reset for this effect is really quick. It takes about 2 seconds. It can definitely be done in front of the audience, and once you're reset, you can literally do any trick with the deck of cards. You can do an ambitious card for ace routine, Queen Assembly, or anything else you'd like to do. However, you don't want to do any card tricks where someone is signing a card because the deck is gimmicked. I could see someone getting this deck of cards mixed up with a normal deck of cards and accidentally having the card signed. However, the thing is, the beauty of this is you probably won't, because the seal on the box of cards is white, and most seals on a red box of bicycle cards is black, so you shouldn't get them mixed up with a regular deck of cards. I recommend performing a card trick with the deck of cards before performing the Nemesis deck, and Nick Locapo does as well. Now let's see if the ad copy is honest. The ad copy states, Nick Locapo finally shares one of his secret weapons with the magic community. He's been keeping it this close to the vest and fooling some of the best magicians on the planet with this miracle. Imagine getting access to the effect Nick Locapo reserves to wreck the minds of the magicians who come to film at Penguin. This isn't any ordinary card trick. This is Nemesis by Nick Locapo. Here's what happens. The cards are examined, shuffled, and then cut into 2 piles. Each person freely selects a card from their pile, and the names of those cards are written down on separate pieces of paper so there can be no doubt as to their identity. The cards are then lost into the piles and then fairly shuffled. Under these impossible conditions, you cut directly to their card. Then the spectator cuts anywhere they want. The card they find is the same card you wrote down at the beginning of the trick. Nemesis uses a streamlined handling and method that eliminates the needs for marks, crimps, specially printed or treated cards. Even more incredible is that you can use the Nemesis deck to perform some of your favorite card tricks. That means you can start and end a multiple trick set with the Nemesis deck. It's practical, easy to do, and get ready to go right out of the box. One of the hardest working magicians in the industry is finally revealing one of his most closely guarded effects. And he's not just sharing one thing. He's giving you all of the work. You get multiple handlings and even a bonus card at number that will leave your audiences stunned. Nick's masterpiece is now your greatest ally. This is Nemesis Deck by Nick Locapo. That's an honest ad copy because there really are no specially treated cards, no crimped cards, no marked cards, or anything else. How much does the Nemesis deck cost? It costs $30 US. Is this worth the price? I think so. You get everything you need to perform the effect, which works great on laymen and magicians. And you don't see that very often. For the materials of the effect, you should be able to get these materials for less than the cost. But for the theory that Nick Locapo gives you and the great tuition and the effect, is really powerful and definitely well worth the cost. What are the pros and cons of this effect? The pros are, this is a great take on the do as I do plot. It's very fooling, easy to perform. The angles are great. The deck is examinable before and after the routine if you clean up. The gimmicks are well made. The tutorial is great. The cons are that this isn't necessarily self-contained. Again, you can make it self-contained, but then the deck is not examinable. And I also wish they could have included the double blank playing cards. If you're a magician, you most likely have a stock of those, but still, it would have been nice if they added like 26 double blank playing cards to perform with. That's about it. What percent do I give this? Nick Locapo's Nemesis deck gets a 98%. Check it out. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.